into most doors and security systems, but only if they're powered.
Huh. That looks like a dank futuristic corridor full of sadness.
That's because it is. This is Dead Effect 2, the sequel to the Bronze Award-winning space-based zombie shooter. It's still set in space, it's still about shooting zombies, and it still borrows ideas heavily from the spooky intergalactic canon.
The spooky intergalactic canon? That sounds dangerous.
No, never mind. The game doesn't really do much different from its predecessor. You're stomping around the fizzing innards of a spaceship that's gone all wrong, shooting abominations with a variety of weapons and special powers.
Oh, it sounds pretty exciting.
It is. There's always a horde of shambling undead scientists around the next corner, or some weird skittering monster demon things ready to jump out at you from behind a space tree. Yes, the game has space trees.
Space trees? Wow! What else does it have?
There's a story that follows on from the original, which is all about clones and mad scientists and some technology that stops death. You'll shoot zombie robot dogs in the head, and there's at least one zombie in it called a nasty zombie, which really made me laugh for some reason.
What are the controls like?
They're not too bad. The default system sees you firing automatically when your reticle rests on something you're meant to kill. One stick controls your movement, and you swipe on the screen to look around. I've played it with the joypad, and unsurprisingly, it's a much sharper game. But on the touchscreen, it's just about adequate.
Just about adequate isn't the most inspiring phrase.
No, it's not. But Dead Effect 2 isn't the most inspiring game. In fact, in places, it's actually pretty offensive. One of the characters you meet goes by the name Minikin. You thaw him out from a cryosleep, and the process leaves his brain damaged. After that, you call him a retard several times, as well as bullying him for being overweight.
Well, that's just icky.
Yeah, and it really sours the experience. It's not very well written, there are plenty of spelling and grammatical errors, and while the graphics are pretty impressive, there are some rough edges elsewhere, particularly with the fonts and menus that wind up grating a little.
I'm not liking the sound of this.
Well, yeah, it's pretty distasteful, yeah. But the game underneath the gumph is fairly solid. Solid in the same way that a dining chair is solid. You might sit on it for a while and it'll be fine, but after a few hours you probably want to go and sit on the sofa.
That was a really strained analogy.
Yeah, I'm busy and my head hurts. In all seriousness though, Dead Effect 2 isn't a bad game, it just has some bad aspects. But the core loop of shooting zombies in the face is as much fun as it ever was in the original. The shift to free-to-play hasn't damaged it too much, although there's a decent chunk of grind if you don't want to pay anything.
So, should I still download it?
If you like this sort of thing, we'd say give it a go. Its more unpleasant aspects are pretty unpleasant, and if they're going to upset you, then you should probably avoid it. But it looks pretty good, and if you haven't shot enough zombies yet to last you a lifetime, there's plenty here to fill full of space bullets.